afternoon, everybody. I think we're all here. One or two people coming through at the back. You all hear me all right? Just like to greet you all. Say good afternoon again on behalf of Brian, Gummy, and the other relatives that have come through today. We're all here today to help celebrate the life of Marilyn, who we obviously all know tragically passed away recently after unexpected illness in hospital. For those who don't know, my name is Mike Denbury, and I actually have the honor of being asked to assist guiding us through this service as we reflect, remember, and pay tribute to a person who meant so much to all of us. Today is a day of sadness, but also of deep gratitude. Gratitude for the time we had with Marilyn, for the memories we now hold dear, and for the love that was shared. This is a time to mourn, but also to celebrate a life of a beautiful wife, mother, grandma, and friend, who touched others in so many meaningful ways and whose love for life will not be forgotten. I think the poem on the back of your memorial program, I don't know if you've seen it, really sums up what life is about. I found it quite moving actually, and how Marilyn would like us to feel at the moment at our service. I won't be long to begin with. We're going to start. We'll hear from a few family and friends who will share their memories and tributes about Marilyn. And I would like to begin by asking Olivia Dance to come up, followed by Robin Potter, Nick Dance, and then Gummy will come and say a few words.
The Marigold Fairy. Great sun above me in the sky, so golden, glorious, and high. My petals see are golden too, they shine, but cannot shine like you. I scatter many seeds around, and where they fall upon the ground, more marigolds will spring. More flowers to open wide in sunny hours. It is because I love you so, I turn to watch you as you go. Without your light, no joy could be. Look down, great sun, and shine on me.
Our sister Marilyn was the apple of our late father's eye. She was the blonde between the three brunettes. Our late mother called her my marigold. Our dad called us collectively his 4 princesses, and now we are 3. We all adored her and loved her greatly. Marilyn was born in East London, where our father had helped start the Hubbly Bubbly, the cool drink company. As a toddler, she had a golden crown of blonde hair, which once saved her from a mishap. She had decided to go for a wander out of their new home, which edged upon open veldt. To my parents' horror, they saw this little angelic 2-year-old being followed by their pet bulldog, who was leading her home. My mother always claimed if it wasn't for that little blonde halo, they would never have seen her. Marilyn did like to get into scrapes and adventures when she was young and until she was older. She found me the most annoying younger sister because no doubt I probably tattletaled on her, especially when I found out that she liked to steal our dad's cigarettes. Marilyn found schooling challenging, and until our parents sent us to the Waldorf school, she struggled. When she moved as a family to Plet, she was 13. She had to go to boarding school in George, and in grade 9 became critically ill with jaundice. She was unable to return to school that year, and this really set her back academically. It was at this young age she decided to become a hairdresser, which appealed to her glamorous side. She was to become a great success and owned her own salon at the BI Hotel in Plet until she got married, had 2 children, and they decided to relocate to Botswana. Marilyn and Brian met in Plet. She was only 20 years old when they got married. Brian had an afro in those days, played the guitar, and worked as a butcher. I think our parents were horrified. Eventually it turned out that Brian was actually quite a respectable young man and had a degree in fine arts. Our dad worried how he would ever support his daughter and persuaded him to train as a plumber. Cooking. She loved sharing the delights of her efforts. She started cooking at the age of 11 and made the best homemade fudge in our neighborhood, and was known for her berry souffle, as light as a feather. I recall our mother buying her the Royal Hostess cookery book with its white leather cover and gold embossed title so that she could extend her repertoire. This was her cookery Bible at a time when there was not many cookery books available. Marilyn also loved to travel, especially to France. Both she and Brian enjoyed the food, the markets, and experiencing the culture. She first introduced me to watching the Tour de France on TV, and every day we would compare notes and discuss in detail the cyclists, the route for the day, and the villages they would travel through. We always laughed how we went to France every year in our armchairs. She would be furious she thought she missed this tour this year. All 4 of us like to think of ourselves as Christmas fairies. Our love of Christmas learned from our mother. As Christmas would approach, the discussions would start about our trees, the color schemes, and the menus. Marilyn's tree had changed to become an angel-decorated tree in memory of Peter. When she came to visit me in Plet, we had to go on a hunt of angel decorations, as she needed to include Peter in this memory of her holiday. Marilyn was a devoted daughter to our late parents, ensuring that she had a home to live in Howick, with Brian's help supporting them both financially and with unconditional love and kindness. She ensured that whilst they were still able, she would organize trips to Mound so that they could share Christmas together. She was one of the most generous people I have ever known. She was an incredible mother to Brendan and Peter, always supportive and always fully engaged in their lives. She only ever wanted the best for both of them, ensuring they had excellent schooling and tertiary education, setting them up to be successful in the rest of their lives. Marilyn's love for her family was shattered when dear Peter passed away so unexpectedly. She never recovered from this loss, and Marilyn's ill health and suffering due to cancer defined the last 14 years of her life. Yet she still reached out to so many through her involvement with Journey of Hope, keeping space available in the cottage for friends, family, and travelers to experience her hospitality, kindness, and always a delicious meal with your beloved Peter. Love from your sisters, Bev, Alethea, and Carrie.
A second mom to many, and a strength to so many more. A very special lady, always kind, caring, and giving selflessly. These are just some words from those who knew Marilyn, a true testament to the Marilyn I was privileged to know for close to 40 years. The Garcin family have been a part of my own for as long as I can remember. Our story began in Orapa, and later our lives became closely intertwined when we lived together at Islands Fro Lodge in Maun. I was honored when Brian and Brendan asked if we would say something today, but if I'm truly honest, it was a little daunting at the same time. With a life of so many memories shared between our families, where would I start? What stories could I tell? We have been through so much together, a life of so much laughter, a lot of tears shared, and many life-changing moments between us. Marilyn's life shared with us cannot be remembered in one story alone, but in hundreds. I have fond memories that begin with a very unique and one-of-a-kind giraffe-painted Land Rover, and school holidays spent with the Garcins in Orapa once our family had moved to Maun. Marilyn would take us on our annual shopping trip to Letlhakane, of all places, to stock up on new wardrobes filled with the very best 80s and 90s fashion pieces from Pep. In later years, these outings evolved into trips to Gaborone, a slight upgrade, with Airport Junction becoming our new shopping haven. And trust me, for those living in Gabs, a trip to Airport Junction was, and probably still is, a considerable upgrade compared to what we get in Maun. Marilyn had such a passion for cooking,
something I'm sure many of you will know. My most childhood birthday cakes were made by her. I remember one in particular, a My Little Pony cake. I couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old at the time. How that cake survived the journey from Arapa to Maun by road in the late 80s, if any of you recall what that road was like, I honestly don't know. But it did, and I still remember it fondly to this day. Several years later, Marilyn even baked my wedding cake. I can still picture Marilyn spending endless hours in my parents' kitchen at Island Safari Lodge, baking and packing up chocolate fudge biscuits, crunchies, and other treats to send back with Lee, Brendan, Peter, my sister, and I to boarding school over the years, making sure our tuck boxes were filled and always well stocked. I'm sure my sister would agree our passion for baking began in the kitchen with Marilyn. It was where we also fell in love with bush pizza, today a big family favorite on camping trips. Marilyn's chocolate mousse, along with her banana and carrot cake, all treasured family favorites that will forever be known as Marilyn's. And then there's Marilyn's shortbread. I just saw my nephew look up. A top pick for my 4-year-old nephew Jackson. My mom has been known to keep the Tupperware topped up with Woolies shortbread until a fresh batch from Marilyn can arrive. Yet still, they're always affectionately called Marilyn's shortbreads. So grumpy? No pressure. But Jackson's thinks you might have to learn how to make them yourself. Now enough about food. Moving on to our lives in Maun, not only was Marilyn the family baker amongst us all, she was also the childhood hairdresser. I was always sporting the latest 80s crew cut, thanks to my mum's requirements, and this later evolved to a fabulous 90s quift that I sported for many years. When Marilyn discovered I had lice one day, a story no one will ever let me forget, I need to add, she tried as subtly as she could to tell my mother. Unfortunately for her, I overheard, as all youngsters with flapping ears do, which left me not only horrified, but caused me to immediately faint. I nearly hit the concrete floor, but was saved at the very last moment by the corner of the plastic table. I remember Marilyn and many others sitting outside the reception each evening at Island Safari Lodge, a brandy and Diet Coke in hand. We shared countless Christmases, birthday parties, and the inevitable late-night sports bar pickups for Peter and I. It's difficult to remember a time that Marilyn wasn't a part of those years, as we were growing up. Marilyn's dedication to Journey of Hope was inspiring. Because of Marilyn and Bev's encouragement and dedication, my sister and I took on the challenge of getting Maun involved in fundraising for the Ladies in Pink, and we braved the salt pans not once, but twice in efforts to raise funds with our moonwalks to support the cause so close to her heart. Our families have shared so many big milestones together, as well as some of our saddest moments. Two of the most important milestones for me personally were the births of my 2 girls. Both times I moved to Gabs about a month before each birth, first for Olivia and then for Amelia, and we stayed with Brian and Marilyn. Marilyn was by my side through it all. She took me to every gynae appointment, sat with me in countless waiting rooms, fetched and carried me to and from the airport, and was simply always there when I needed her. I will forever be grateful. And here I go again talking about food. She also ensured I ate copious amounts of homemade ice cream every night, as we tested every flavor imaginable with her new ice cream maker. Like clockwork, we would ensure never to miss an episode of EastEnders of an evening together during this time. Staying with Brian and Marilyn offered me a home away from home, whilst I waited for the big day to arrive, not once, but twice. Marilyn was there the very minute both my girls were born, each time right alongside my own mum, ready to meet the new arrivals. She made sure I was stocked up with all the new mum essentials. Marilyn certainly was the queen of jungle juice. Together with my mother, she gently guided me through those first precious and sometimes overwhelming weeks of motherhood. As I said earlier, I have so many memories I could share. I could truly go on for hours. But according to a recent Google search, it is recommended that I keep this speech as short as possible. Over the years, our families have grown side by side together, celebrating the joy of new arrivals and feeling the deep ache of losing those we love. Today is a reminder of just how precious these bonds are. Brian, Gummy, Tash, Declan, Joshua, Chloe, and Tristan. Although we are not related by blood, you will always be family in our hearts. Marilyn, give Dad and Peter a big hug from all of us.
We will miss you dearly and love you always. Until we meet again.
Thanks, Nixon. I didn't think I brought enough tissues for that. Right. Nana, Mom, Mapita, Marilyn. Today I stand here proud to be your son and deeply grateful for the love and support that everyone has shown you in your remembrance. We have been truly overwhelmed by the support, messages and calls from all corners of the world. It is a powerful testament to the profound impact one life can have on so many others. Courageous, special, caring, loyal, loving, kind, selfless. These are just a few words that have echoed through the countless posts, messages and comments that poured in since announcing her passing. These words truly capture her essence and illustrate the countless ways she touched the lives around her. My mother was a warrior. She endured unimaginable pain and suffering to remain with us. Many would have given up under such circumstances, having lost a daughter, battled lung cancer, and faced brain tumors. But life chose the wrong person to test. She emerged victorious from her struggles, always smiling, never complaining. We are incredibly fortunate and grateful that she chose to fight through the 4 months she was given by her doctors 13 years ago when diagnosed with brain tumors, blessing us with over a decade of love, laughter, and cherished memories. She gave our children a nana they adored and had the privilege to know, creating lifelong memories for them in the process. On the 12th of July this year, what was meant to be a day of celebration, a joyous event shared with family and friends, celebrating my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, turned out to be a somber day of concern, worry and uncertainty. As we rushed my mother to the hospital in the early hours of the morning, little did we know that she would not be able to congratulate my father, nor take the time to celebrate with him the milestone that they had both achieved in their marriage. To my father, I'm sorry that you did not get a chance to celebrate this important day. I know only too well how she was looking forward to it and having everyone around to celebrate and share it with. I'm sorry we never got to do so. She had a few nicknames I would like to share with you, each given with love. My father called her Nobby, a term borrowed from cooking, a passion of hers, and as you have heard, something she was well known for. As the opening line of every good recipe would say, start with 1 knob of butter. The butter symbolizing its role in the success of the recipe, and in life, her vital role in binding our family together. This was truly fitting. However, the nickname that brought her the greatest pride was Mapita, given by the staff at Island Safari Lodge in Maun. She embraced this name, using it to honour her beloved daughter Peter, whom she laid to rest 19 years ago. She even changed her Wi-Fi password to Mapita26. Mapita obviously her nickname, and 26 the age that Peter passed away, showing how fond she was of the name and my sister. Later she became known as the mother hen at the Journey of Hope, always gathering the ladies, keeping them out of trouble, and ensuring they were cared for. I believe this ended up being a challenging event, considering the hens she had to gather and their mischievous behavior, always tending to get lost looking for new watering holes on the way home. She was immensely proud of her friends and her time with Journey of Hope, which gave her a renewed sense of purpose and determination. She was insistent on attending every trip, even planning one last adventure to Kasani this month. She truly lived and breathed the spirit of the Journey of Hope, and for that we are both proud and grateful to all of you for embracing her and giving her the sense of purpose that she needed. I want to thank Kay Potter from Maun. The friendship and bond that you formed with my mother meant so much to her. Formed during your time working together at Island Safari Lodge. There were many great trips taken together, whether to the bush, in Darba, London, and even down to the Midlands. Always full of laughter and giggles. You were an incredible friend to her and remain so to our family. Thank you. In honouring her courage and resilience, I found a poem which resonated with me, which I felt captured her spirit perfectly. Once more into the fray, into the last good fight you will ever know. Live and die on this day, live and die on this day. She fought valiantly, and I'm proud of her. As we gather here today, I invite all of you to shift from sorrow to celebration and join me, please, in a moment of applause, recognizing her bravery and strength through the countless battles she faced daily. Please, can we all raise and give her a moment of applause? Thank you. I'd like to thank my wife Natasha, Ria, the Potters and Kitty for your time and effort and help in getting the venue and various other items sorted out for us to have this event today. My father and I, believe it or not, have actually been two left feet wandering around through the bush together the past few weeks. Having the guidance and care of your help to sort out this is appreciated and loved. Thank you all for your time, thoughts, prayers and love. Your support has been overwhelming and comforting during these difficult times. Robala ka kagiso.
Extremely well done, Gummy. I can assure you that's not easy to do. I'd like to put on my Journey of Hope cap on for a few moments and speak on their behalf. As we mentioned already, that Marilyn had quite a strong presence in our organization. We would like to express our deep gratitude with Marilyn's support over the last 16 years. For some of us who may not be aware, Journey of Hope is a breast cancer awareness non-profit organization who concentrate on the motto that awareness can save lives, or touch, look, check, as we like to tell everybody. Our organization was started in 2009, as it was mentioned 16 years ago, by 4 ladies over a glass of wine through lunch. That included Marilyn, Margaret MacDonald, Rita Keevil, who's just rode a bike in here today, and my late wife, Bev Denbury. Since that time, Journey of Hope has grown in leaps and bounds and has literally touched thousands of lives of ladies and men throughout Botswana. Marilyn has been on our committee throughout that time and served as chair lady even during times of COVID, which was extremely tough. As mentioned, our aims are to make as many people as possible aware that by checking and caring for your own breast, you may be able to get an early diagnosis which can help defeat the dreaded cancer bug. One of the things we do every year is organize a big ride which covers all four corners of Botswana. This has been ongoing now, I think, for at least, they've done 10 journeys. Rita can probably correct me. What it entails is this year it's going to be 30 volunteers with nurses and doctors. There is a convoy of support vehicles, and the pink scooters are used to ride through towns and villages to gain everyone's attention. Thank you, ladies, for bringing some through here today. Thanks for the Journey Hope. I can assure you that some of the places that Journey of Hope ladies have been to are not very glamorous. And it's most definitely not a cakewalk. In fact, I think in one year, I stand to be corrected, but they hired a lot of tents, or Marilyn provided the tents so they can sit and sleep in the grass a few times because there was nowhere else to stay. Marilyn has been a permanent member of this team over the years, through thick and thin. I can actually vouch for that. Recently, as I mentioned, that the Journey of Hope are going up to Kasane at the end of August, in a few weeks' time. There was some concern. Marilyn is obviously going, and she was helping arrange all the accommodation and what food everybody wanted. But there was some concern on some of our part that I had met Marilyn at the chiropractors and the biokinetists, and I know, bumped into her there, that she was suffering a lot. So there was concern on our part that traveling 1,000 kilometers to Kasane and then another few hundred kilometers on gravel roads might not be that easy for her. I could have had 10 cups of coffee trying to persuade her that perhaps she should not go, but she absolutely point blankly refused and was adamant that she would be there. We had a meeting and decided, which was fine, we accepted that, but then we were going to fly her up and then arrange to have her taken around in cabs to wherever we had to go, or with the drivers. And I also made it adamant that she shouldn't be in the kitchen the whole time cooking, which is what she was normally doing. Unfortunately, she won't be able to make it. I'd just like to read out our staff, our PR lady, Annika, put onto our Facebook profile, which kind of sums up what I can probably say. We are deeply saddened to share that our co-founder, Marilyn Garcin, has passed away. On behalf of Journey of Hope Botswana, we extend our heartfelt condolences to the family of our dearest Marilyn, who sadly passed away on Friday, August the 25th. Marilyn, who co-founded Journey of Hope in Botswana with Bev Denbury and Rita Keevil in 2008, was a valued member of our team, respected for her dedication and the warmth that she brought to the NGO. Due to her long-term experience in the hospitality industry, Marilyn often took care of all accommodation and meal preparations for most of all the big journeys. She must have been a good cook, because this has been brought up again. Her homemade quiches, rusks and brownies were always mealtime highlights for the countless volunteers who came, went, and remain over the 16 years that Marilyn has been at the helm of the NGO. Her presence will be deeply missed, both professionally and personally. Our thoughts are with her and her loved ones during this time of loss, and may her soul rest in peace. I would like us just to spend a few quiet moments in contemplation. And before we do that, I'd like to read out a message that Brian's brother Ross and his wife Trish sent us and asked to have read out. If you look at the picture on the front of your memorial service brochure, there's a picture of Marilyn. He says that picture of Marilyn certainly captures her entire being. Look carefully and you will notice a glint in her eyes that suggests a hint of mischievousness, a hint of inner strength, a hint of capability, a hint of compassion, a true reflection of a loving wife, mother, and friend. However, having said all this, you've caught us a big problem as to where on earth are we going to get the shortbread and the other lack of food you make for us. Rest in peace. I would just like to finish by saying the Lord's Prayer, and obviously all join in. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I'd just like to say to everybody, especially to Brian and Gummy and family, that from experience I can tell you that time does eventually dull the pain, but it will never dull your memories. Thank you very much.